Hello guys, how are you today? So today I'll be explaining the math course practice quiz of geometry section 5.4. So let us start with the first question. A sphere is inscribed in a cylinder whose height is the same as the sphere's diameter. So what does it mean? That means if the sphere's diameter, which we're gonna call it d, okay, is equal to 2 radius 2r, then that also means the height h is equal to 2r. So keep it in mind. Diameter d is equal to 2 radius because we always know that the diameter is equal to 2 times the radius. And they said the height is the same as the sphere's diameter. That means the height is also equal to 2 times the radius. So keep this in mind while we solve. They said the ratio of the surface area of the sphere to the lateral area of the cylinder is equal to 1. Let us see. First of all, the surface area of the sphere. How do we find the surface area of the sphere? The surface area of any sphere is 4 pi r squared. Now, if you separate it a little bit and you play around with the numbers, you are gonna get that 2 radius times 2 radius times pi is the same as 4 pi r squared. And as we said, the diameter d is equal to 2 times the radius. So very simply, we could substitute 2 radius by diameter. So diameter times pi. So diameter squared times pi. This is the surface area of the sphere. Okay? Now, for the lateral area of the cylinder, the lateral area of any cylinder is 2 pi r h. Okay? So if you rearrange it a little bit, it's going to be 2r pi h. We know that h, again, as we said, it is 2 radius because the diameter and the height are the same. So height is equal to 2 radius. So if you substitute it, you're going to get 2 radius times 2 radius times pi. Okay, it's equivalent to 2 pi r h. Okay, now as we said, the radius, 2 of the radius is gonna be the diameter, so we can substitute it by diameter. So diameter times pi, so diameter squared pi. So this over here is what? This is the lateral area of the cylinder. So they said they need what? They need the ratio, okay? The ratio of the surface area of the sphere, which is d to the power of 2 times pi, over the lateral area of the cylinder, which is also d to the power of 2 times pi. So since they are the same thing, they're going to cancel out and give us 1. So keep in mind that we found what? We found the surface area of the sphere and the lateral area of the cylinder. This is going to help us for the other options. So the surface area of the sphere is equal to pi d to the power of 2. This is correct. This is incorrect. The lateral area of the cylinder is equal to pi d to the power of 2. This is also correct. So we are going to take it. And definitely the last one is wrong. So we will move on to question number 2. Here, they're telling us the solid figure below represents a regular pyramid with height 120 meters and a square base of side 75 meters. They need us to find the volume of the sphere. They told us what? They told us that the square base, meaning all the sides have the same length, which is 75 meters. Okay? And the height of the pyramid, the height, which is perpendicular always, it is 120 meters. Okay, and they need us to find what? They need us to find the volume of a pyramid. So, we should know that the volume of any the volume of any pyramid, it is 1/3 times the area of the base denoted by B times the height denoted by H. So always remember, the volume of a pyramid is 1/3 times the area of the base times the height. The area of the base is a square, so very simply it's going to be 1/3 times the area of a base, which is 75 times 75, times the height, which is 120 meters. So if you put it on your calculator, 1/3 times 75 times 75 times 120, you are going to get an answer which is 225,000. Now, if you go down, they needed what? They needed 2 times 10 to the power of 3. So 225,000 divided by 10 to the power of 3. You can easily do it on your calculator. You are going to get 225. So very simply, in the box, you are going to put 225. We move on to question number 3. In question number 3, it says, if a right circular cone has a height of 12 centimeters and the radius of the base is 5 centimeters, then they need the lateral area of this cone. Very simply, first of all, let us draw to imagine what we are dealing with. We have a cone, and it's a right cone. So it's a cone, right cone. It will look something like this, okay? So this is the height. So because it is a right cone, it has a height. This height is what it is, 12 centimeters. And they said that the radius of the base is 5 centimeters. So they need us to find the lateral area of the cone. What you should know is that the lateral area of any cone, it is pi times the radius times the slant height denoted by L. Okay, so pi is pi times the radius, which we know it is 5, times the slant height L. How do you find the slant height L? Very simply, just apply Pythagoras theorem. So it becomes radical 12 squared plus 5 squared, which will give you 13. So now you have that the slant height L is 13. So the only thing you're going to do is just substitute it in the equation. So it is pi times 5 times 13. And you are going to get an answer which is 65 pi. So very simply, our answer is 65 pi. We move on to question number 4. The mass of water in a cylindrical can of height 15 centimeters and radius 6 centimeters is whatever pi grams. What you need to know is that the mass of water is always equal to its volume. This can be inferred from the sentence over here. Okay, so the mass of water is equal to its volume. So if you find the volume of the water, you will find the mass. Now they told us that water is placed in a cylinder, and you know that water takes the shape of its container because it's a liquid. Some little physics and chemistry. So it's a cylinder. So the shape of water is a cylinder. And now to find the volume, which is to find the mass of the cylinder, it is very simply pi r squared h. Okay, so you have the radius, which is 6, so it becomes pi times 6 squared times the height, which is 15. This question cannot be any easier. Everything is given to you. You just need to memorize. So it becomes 6 squared times 15. You are going to get it to be 540 pi grams. Okay? Okay, so we will move on to question number 5. Again, the solid in the figure below represents a regular pyramid with height 180 meters and a square base of side 60 meters. Here they also need us to find the volume. So very simply, to find the volume, we know that the volume of any pyramid, it is 1/3 times the area of the base denoted by B times the height denoted by H. They told us that the square has a side of 60 meters, so because it's a square, all sides have 60 meters. And then the height, which is the perpendicular distance, always remember the height is perpendicular distance, it is 180 meters. So now to find the volume of this pyramid, it's going to be 1/3 times the area of the base, which is 60 times 60, times what? Times the height, which is 180. You put it on the calculator, 1/3 times 60 times 60 times 180, you are gonna get 216,000. So the answer is 216,000, but as you can see, they needed times 10 to the power of 3. So 216,000 divided by 10 to the power of 3, you are gonna get 216. So the number over here should be 216. We will move on to question number 6. Again, we are given if a right circular cone has a height of 15 centimeters and the radius of its base is equal to 8 centimeters, they need us to find the lateral area of this cone. Let us draw what we are dealing with. We are dealing with a cone, okay, and it is a right circular cone, so it has a height, and it looks like this. It will look something like this, okay? The height is 15 centimeters, okay? And the radius is equal to 8 centimeters, all right? They need us to find the lateral area of this cone. What you should know is that the lateral area of any cone, it is pi times the radius times the slant height denoted by L. How do we find the slant height L? Very simply, you apply Pythagoras theorem, which is radical a squared, in this case 15 squared, plus b squared, which is 8 squared, and it will give you the answer, which is 17. Now, very simply, just replace pi times the radius, which is 8, times the length, which, not the slant height, which is the length, which we got to be 17. So, on your calculator, if you will put it, you are gonna get it to be 136 pi. So very simply, this is 136. We move on to question number 7. Again, this is a repeated question. They need the mass of the water in a cylindrical can of height. You know that the mass of water is equal to its volume. We can take it from here, but please read it. They might change it in the exam. That's why it's always preferable to read. If they say that 1 centimeter cubed is 1 gram, that means mass is equal to volume. If they said something else, for example, let's say 1 centimeter cubed is equal to 2 grams, that means 2 mass is equal to, not 2 mass, sorry. 2 times the volume is equal to the mass, very simply. Just like say it from here, but usually all of the cases they will give you that mass is equal to volume. All right, so in this case the mass is equal to the volume, and we know to find the volume of water it has to be the volume of its container. In this case its container is a cylinder, so the volume of any cylinder is pi r squared h. So pi times the radius, which is 8 squared, times the height, which is 14. So very simply, to put it on your calculator, you are gonna get it to be 896 pi. So the answer is 896 pi grams. Okay, this is a very, very interesting question. Let us see what is gonna happen. The external dimensions of a wooden box are 22 centimeters times 14 centimeters times 18 centimeters. Let's first draw what is happening. We have a wooden box. If you guys want a trick to draw a box, you draw in the middle. Thank you to my friend who taught me how to do this. And then you just connect them like this. And there you go. You have a box. Very simple, very easy. So now, we have a side of the box, which is 22 centimeters. And then another side, which is 14 centimeters, and another side, which is 18 centimeters. We don't know in which order. We're just going to put it like this, okay? They said the thickness of the wood is 0.5 centimeters. So inside, there is another layer. The thickness of this layer is 0.5 centimeters. So let's say the distance between the thickness of the wood inside of the box is 0.5 centimeters. But now we're gonna see what happens. Okay? They also gave us that the density of wood is 0.78 gram per centimeter cubed. They told us what is the value of the mass of the box. To find the value of the mass of the box, we need to follow these steps. We have 4 steps. The first step is to find the volume of the external box. Very simple. The volume of the external box, or the outside of the box, it is very simply, a prism or a cuboid, and the volume of any cuboid, it is length times width times height, which is 22 times 18 times 14, and you will get an answer which is 5544 centimeter cubed. Okay? Now, For the second one, they need the volume inside the box. Here is where it gets interesting. So you know that this side over here, that I will color it in pink, it has an opposite side that's literally the same, but just on the opposite side. So this is a copy of this. Same thing goes for this one that I will circle in black. This side has another copy on the other side. And same thing with this one that I will circle in yellow. From the top, it has a copy on the bottom. So practically, basically, there is two of everything. So what's gonna happen is that the thickness of the wood, 0.5 centimeters, okay, it's not gonna remove 0.5 centimeters. It's in fact gonna remove 2 times 0.5 centimeters, because on each side or on each face there is on the other side, on the opposite side. So it will make it 2 times the thickness of the wood, which is 1 centimeter of the volume being removed. So we're not gonna subtract 1 centimeter from the total volume. Instead, what we're gonna do is from each of the sides, we're gonna subtract 1 centimeter. So it is gonna become length times width times height, but here it is 22 minus 1. I don't know if you can see it, let me just fix it. Okay, times 18 minus 1 times 14 minus 1. And I hope you understood why we did minus 1, because with the thickness inside of the box, with the thickness we have on both sides 0.5, 0.5. Add 0.5 plus 0.5, you're gonna get 1 centimeter. So 1 centimeter is removed from the length, from the width, and from the height. So if you put it on your calculator, 22 minus 1 times 18 minus 1 times 14 minus 1, you're gonna get an answer which is 4,641 centimeter cubed. Keep this in mind, okay? So we found that the volume of the external box is 5544 centimeter cubed. We have that the volume inside of the box is 4641 centimeter cubed. Now they need the volume of the wood. Very simply, to find the volume of the wood, it is gonna be the external box volume, which is 5544, minus the volume of inside the box, or the internal box volume, which is 4641. When you subtract them together, what is gonna happen? You are gonna get the volume of the wood, which is 903 centimeter cubed. Now, for the last part, they are asking us what? They are asking us for the mass of the wood. We are given the density, and you should remember this equation, that the mass over density is equal to the volume. So if you need to find the mass will be equal to volume times density. So the volume of the wood is how much? It is 903 centimeter cubed times the density, which is 0.78. You multiply them together, and you are gonna get an answer which is 704.34. So this is how you solve this question. It's not difficult, it just needs a little bit of thinking. So the answers respectively are 5544, 4641, 903, and then 704.34. Now we will move on to question number 9. What is the volume, they need the volume, of a right prism if its height is 27 and the area of its base is 6? Okay, what you need to know is that the volume of any prism is, very simply, the area of the base times its height. So the area of its base is given as 6 times its height, which is 27. You see how easy this question is? Just if you memorize the rules, it's gonna be very, very, very simple. The volume of any prism is base of the area times the height. So the base of the area is 6, its height is 27. 6 times 27 is 162. We move on to question number 10. This is a very, very important question. In the figure below, VABCD is a regular pyramid with square bases ABCD. They need the total surface area of this pyramid. Okay, we have many ways to find the total surface area. You could either memorize the rules of the surface area. So the surface area of any regular pyramid, it is going to be the area of the base plus 1/2 times the perimeter times the slant height. You could do it like this, or another way that I prefer to use. What does surface area mean? Surface area, it means the addition or the sum. Let me use sum. It is the sum of all areas. So all you got to do is identify all of the shapes given, and then you could find the sum of all the areas. So I'm gonna do it in both ways, this way and this way, and you will see how you will get both the answers, and you can choose which way you prefer. So the sum of all areas, we will start with the base. The base is a square, so it's gonna be 18 here and 18 here. So it is gonna be first of all, the first shape, which is a square, 18 times 18, plus, now here is where it becomes interesting. In this triangle, or in this pyramid, we have 1, 2, 3, and 4 triangles. 4 triangles that are the same. How do we know? Because it is a regular pyramid. If you read above, you would have known that it is a regular pyramid. Now, very simply, to find the area of one of the sides, we are given the height over here, and we have the base to be 18. So you can find it by doing 1/2 times the base, which is 18, times the height, which is 15, and then multiplied by all the number of triangles. We have 4 triangles, so times 4. If you put it on the calculator, 18 times 18 plus 1/2 times 18 times 15 times 4, you are going to get an answer which is 864. Now, if we did it in the other way, which is the area of the base, which is, again, it is 18 times 18, okay, plus 1/2 times the perimeter. Now, perimeter of what? Perimeter of the base, which is the square at the bottom. So it's going to be 18 times the number of sides in the square, which is 4, times what? Times the now here when they are talking about the slant height, they are referring to this slant height because it's the slant height of what? It's the slant height of the actual height in the actual distance, because the actual height, it has to be perpendicular. Okay, now so the slant height is going to be this number over here, which is 15. As you can see, it's going to give us the same result. So 18 times 18 plus 1/2 times 18 times 4 times 15, which is going to be 864. So whichever way you do it, you are going to get the same thing. So which is 864. We move on to question number 11. It's the same as question number 10. Here they are looking for the volume of the pyramid. Okay, again, so to find the volume of this pyramid, all right, so actually it's not the same as question number 10. Sorry, I was mistaken. The volume of any pyramid, very simply. Volume of any pyramid, it is 1/3 times the area of the base denoted by B times the height. So in this case, it's going to be 1/3 times the area of the base. They told us it's a square, so this is 12, this is 12. It becomes 12 times 12 times the height h, which is always the perpendicular one over here, so times 8. You put it on the calculator, you're going to get an answer of 384. We move on to question number 12. Again, this one is the same as question number 11. Sorry, I did a mistake. So the volume of this pyramid, again, it is 1/3 times the area of the base times the height. So 1/3 times the area of the base, which is 24, times 24, times the height, which is this one always, it is 9. So if we put it on the calculator, you are going to get an answer which is 1728. So very simply, the volume of this cylinder is 1728. 528. We will move on to question number 13. So, in question number 13, they said in a regular pyramid, so you have to remember the rules for the pyramid. The length of the side of its square base is 21 centimeters. So let's draw what we are kind of facing. We have a square. We have one. Let me draw it in a different color. 1, 2. Hold on. 2, 3, and 4. You can imagine it, yeah? This is what we have. They said the side of its square base is 21. So this is 21, this is 21, 21, and 21. Its lateral area is 1,512 centimeters. Very simply, we know that the equation of the lateral area of a pyramid, it is equal to 1/2 times the perimeter of the base, which is denoted by P, times the slant height S. And here they want us to find what? They want us to find the measure of its slant height. So very simply, if you follow this equation, you are gonna find the slant height. So 1512 is equal to 1/2 times the perimeter of the square base. So it's gonna be 4 times 21 times the slant height S, or L. I prefer to denote it by L. Okay, so then it's gonna become 1512 divided by 1/2 times 4 times 21, and you are gonna get that the slant height L is equal to 36 if you move this to the other side, very simply. So the answer over here is 36 centimeters. We move on to question number 14. Here, this is new. If the lateral surface area of the cylinder is k pi, where k is an integer, what's the value of k? As you can see, they need the lateral surface area of a cylinder. The lateral surface area of any cylinder, it is 2 pi RH. Okay? So 2 times pi times the radius, which is 5, times the height, which is 12. Put it on the calculator, you're gonna get 120 pi. They need k, which is next to pi, so you're only gonna put 120. We move on to question number 15. The height of a right prism is 7 centimeters and its base is a square with side 13 centimeters. They need the total area of this right prism. Very simply, what I would do is I would draw what we are dealing with. Okay? This is the prism that we are dealing with. We have that its square base has a side 13 centimeters, so 13, 13. And its height is 7 centimeters. They need the total area of this right prism. Personally, there's many ways to do it. The surface area of any prism, it is the equation 2 times the area of the base plus the perimeter times the height. You can do it like this. Personally, what I would prefer to do is to take one side and find its area. And as you can see, as you know from before, each side has an opposite side. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna multiply the areas by 2. So very simply, it will become 2 times. Okay, so for the first one, which is, let us say, let me just clear it up a little bit. For the first side, which is, let us say, the base. So it becomes 13 times 13. Then we are going to add it. We're not going to stop here. We're going to add it to the second one, which is, let's say, like this, 7 times 13. We're not going to stop. We're going to add it to one more thing, which is, let us say, this one over here, which is also 7 times 13. So it will become 2 on your calculator. 2 times 13 times 13 plus 7 times 13 plus 7 times 13. And you're going to get an answer which is 702. Very simply, it is 702 centimeter squared. We'll move on to question number 16. The height of a right prism is 12 meters and its base is a square with side 5 meters. They need the volume of the right prism. Okay, I've never met a question easier than this. The volume of any right prism, it is equal to what? It is equal to the area of the base denoted by B times the height H. Okay? The area of a square base is, the side of square base is 5, so the area is going to be 5 times 5 times the height, which is 12. You put it on your calculator, you are going to get an answer of 300. We move on to question number 17. The volume of this cylinder. We need to find the volume of this cylinder. Very simply, the volume of any cylinder is pi r squared h. So it's going to be pi times the radius squared, 4 squared, times the height, 9. Put it on your calculator, you are going to get 144 pi centimeter squared. Now, this is a very interesting question. They said the volume of a right pyramid with a square base is 297 centimeters squared. So, volume of a right pyramid. Remember, the volume of a right pyramid, it is 1 over 3 times the area of the base denoted by b times the height. It's 297 centimeter cubed. Okay? They said the height of the pyramid is 11 centimeters. So you can remove this and put 11 centimeters. So now you're going to get the area of the base, which is a square base, which we know that it is side squared. Okay? So now it's 1 over 3 times the area of the base, which is side squared, times 11 is equal to 297. Move these over here. You are going to get that side squared is equal to 81. Okay? So then the side is equal to plus or minus 9, but we will take plus 9 because we cannot have a negative side. So very simply, this is going to be 9. We will move on to the last question, which is question number 19. If the total surface area of a right prism is 127 centimeter cubed. Very interesting. The total area of a right prism, 127 centimeter squared, not cubed, my bad. And we know that the total surface area of any right prism, it is 2 times the area of the base plus the perimeter times the height. Okay? And its lateral area is 49 centimeters squared. We know that the lateral area, it is equal to the perimeter of the base, which is denoted by P, times the height, which is denoted by A. So what do these two have in common? They have in common the perimeter times the height. If you make it the subject of the equation, you will get perimeter times height is 49 centimeter squared. And then perimeter times height is equal to 127 centimeters squared minus 2b. Now, you will make these two equal to each other. You're going to get 49 is equal to 127 minus 2b. Move this here, move this there. You are going to get that 2b is equal to 127 minus 49. Subtract both of them. You will get 2b is 78. Divide both sides by 2. So now you have b, which is the area of the base. It is 78 divided by 2, which is 39 centimeter squared. So put it 39. Let's submit. Hopefully there are no mistakes. Thank God there are no mistakes. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed and have a wonderful day.